Ohayo.
Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, the podcast about all things Japan from a
Japanese.
and foreign perspective. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Thank you for joining us today.
ありがとうございます。
Today's episode is the last of the Halloween creepy themed episodes. So we're going to talk about Japanese urban legends.
Yay.
And we'll have a Japanglish segment at the end as well. Urban legends. How do you say that in Japanese?
都市伝説。
都市伝説. Growing up, I'm sure like you hear a lot of these.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot. A lot. Kids love it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So we'll, I guess, run through the more famous ones.
はい。
But Japan loves these, so there's like tons.
Tons.
And a lot of these are inspire movies. Like I bet a lot of the Japanese horror films you've watched is probably based on either a ghost story or an urban legend, right? What would you say the differences are though? Urban legends, I feel like it's less ghost, more like murder, killer, or
What do you mean?
like what's the difference between a ghost story and an urban legend? Right?
It's hard to... I think
Urban
urban legend is, to me,
It's
urban
sorry.
legend is like the kids start talking.
Okay.
Then like they're trying to see them. But ghost story is ghost. So like, how can I say?
Like urban legends, I feel like are based around murders, like death, like you will die.
Yeah.
Or I'm not. Anyway, you let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
All right. So the first one we're gonna talk about is
口裂け女.
Kuchisake Ona, translated to the slit-mouthed woman.
Like,
Yeah. So I think it's based on a story like in like samurai times where a wife cheated on a husband. The husband found out and I guess got so angry that he cut her mouth from ear to ear to give her like a big smile. I think she was like known to be beautiful and have a beautiful smile, so he was jealous, and then his question was like, so do you think people are gonna find you beautiful now, right?
that's the old story.
Okay.
The modern story was, so this lady, she actually had no good looking.
Okay.
So she wanted to get surgery
Okay.
to be beautiful.
Yes.
But the surgery got failed.
Okay.
So she want to make bigger mouth, lips, but it ended up all the way up.
Oh fuck. Okay.
But then she still wanna, I think she still wanna trying to find the partner or something. That's why after that she wear mask like now COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
And walking down the street and then ask people, am I beautiful? And if you say, yeah, you're beautiful, and she's gonna take off the mask.
Yes.
And it says, even like this. And everybody gets, that's the modern story about Kuchisake Onna for us when I was kid.
So if you answer no, she will kill you with a pair of scissors or something. And then if you answer yes, she will give you an identical smile as she have. So she'll cut your mouth.
Yeah. So either way.
And then they say, like, I don't know, rumors, but they say that if you try not to answer yes or no, say ma enough, you can like run away in time.
Yeah.
That's what I guess the kids say, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of COVID masks, I feel like now here in North America, like people are trying to like fight against and actually not wear masks. Like over here, I find you rarely see anyone wear mask anymore. But in Japan, you guys already or always wore masks anyway. Like, you know, if you were sick with a cold or whatever.
Sick or cold, or also the pollen, the allergy.
So would you say it's the same amount people are wearing masks or even more because of COVID?
Even more. Like I never wear mask.
Yeah.
I don't think my partner never wear mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of COVID. But still, like I know so many people love to wear mask before COVID anyway, because of those reasons.
Pollen is a big thing in Japan.
Pollen is actually a big thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the allergy.
Allergies, yeah.
That's why they have to wear mask.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one.
はい。
The story is called
赤マント。
loosely translated to red cape.
Yeah.
So this Akamanto story says that there's a handsome spirit of a man wearing a mask that waits in the stalls of ladies' washrooms, usually in the last stall. Once seated, a voice will ask you, do you want red paper or blue? If you say red, you suffer a violent death. If you answer blue, you are suffocated until you turn blue and die. Deviating from these answers by asking for ordinary white paper, ghostly hands will appear out of nowhere and drag you down to hell from the toilet.
So there's no escape.
Exactly. So apparently the way to avoid any of these fates is just to politely refuse anything he offers. I feel like there's like a lot of toilet based urban legends, right?
Yeah.
I think it's from like, I guess, elementary schools, being in school, and then if you're alone in a big washroom, that's how these stories start, right?
Because it's kind of scary, right? In
creepy,
a bathroom
right?
by yourself, especially if you're a kid. Echo, and then the school bathroom is kind of like cold and, you know.
But this reminds me of like, kind of like Bloody Mary. It's in a washroom.
Yeah.
But in Japan, there's also a Bloody Mary type story, right? What's that called?
It's called トイレの花子さん.
So
very popular.
Hanako of the toilet. So what's the story about Hanako?
The story about Hanako, I think during World War, she was trying to escape from the attack.
Yes.
And then she was in the school, and then she went to the bathroom
to hide.
But unfortunately, they bombed the school, and then she died.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you enter a restroom on the third floor, knock on the third stall 3 times and ask,
花子さん、花子さん、いますか?
So Hanako, are you there? You may get a reply. The door will slowly creak open to reveal little Hanako in a red skirt. Her hair is done up in a traditional style bun. She'll then grab the victim and drag them into the toilet, never to be seen again. There's other versions where Hanako will ask you if you need a friend or will you be my friend. But it's always like the third floor, third stall, knock 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys like have dares in school? Like, oh, do it.
Of course. This is I think 90% of kids like our time.
Yeah.
We know, and then we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody gets so scared. Sometimes somebody's actually hiding inside.
Yes, yes.
And then they do it. But I always think like this guy also very scary. You know what I mean? Somebody's inside.
Yeah. The next urban legend is called
Teke.
teke teke. So teke teke comes from the sound. Teke 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 teke. So apparently a schoolgirl who tripped on some train tracks as a train was coming, she was cut in half by the train. So because of this, teke teke, she's a vengeful spirit who crawls around on her hands and elbows, dragging her torso, making the sound teke teke teke. So apparently teke teke wanders around at night, slicing her victims in half to mimic her own disfigurement. She also hides in places like cars and in windows where half a body would typically only be seen. So you can't tell she's half. And then if you come close enough, she surprises them and reveals herself. But you can only escape teke teke if you can outrun her, which shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, no.
But this is like kind of based on like a, not sure if it's a true story, but a story of a woman who did, right? Get cut in half.
Yeah, in Hokkaido, which is north of Japan, in the winter time, this lady, I think, got accident and then, like her body got half, like cut in half. But because of Hokkaido is very cold, so after her body cut in half, immediately the bread gets kind of like icy.
Okay.
So the bread didn't really go, how to say, like she didn't
leave
lose
the body. She didn't lose the blood. It stayed
so
in
like
her.
she's still like alive.
Yeah.
But obviously she's going to die.
Yes.
So the train workers, they have to let her go, but they can't do anything. So they put the blue sheet on top of her, and then she was still talking and like
moving around.
Yeah, and yeah, that was also the story.
Yeah, that's creepy. That's a creepy story. All right, the next story is true in terms of the type of human sacrifice. So in back then in like the 16th century or even older, it was common for this to happen, and it's called
hitobashira.
Loosely translated to human pillar. So hitobashira is a type of human sacrifice that was practiced in Japan up until the 16th century. So feudal lords would wall up live victims in pillars, dams, and other building foundations to appease the gods, who would protect the building from attacks and natural disasters. It is also a term for workers who are buried alive. So like we talk about this story like last episode. Like I went to one of the tunnel, and then they did actually these things. Like Korean workers
exactly
were stuffed into the walls of the tunnel for, I guess, sacrifice, right? It's to bless, appease the gods, right?
Yeah.
So the souls of the dead get stuck in the pillars and the walls, and they haunt the building. So this story happens in Maruoka Castle in Sakai, Fukui Prefecture. So one of the castle walls kept crumbling during its construction. No matter how much it was reinforced, what they tried to do to fix it, it just kept on crumbling. So then it was suggested to the castle lord to make a hitobashira, a one-eyed peasant woman with children named
おしず
was chosen for the sacrifice. The poor mother only asked that for her sons to be made samurai after the ritual. So she agreed, but you have to
make my son be a samurai in a good spot.
So the lords agreed, and Oshizu was buried under the central pillar of the castle keep. Unfortunately, the castle lords did not keep their promise, and her sons were never made samurai. Afterward, so it's really common in Japan. Do every castle have it? Moats.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So afterward, after this sacrifice, and after that their sons did not become samurai, the moat would overflow every springtime. So the people think that, the locals think that it's because of the tears of Oshizu. Because it floods. Right?
Yeah.
If that's true, that's pretty interesting that it floods every. And
yeah.
The tears. Yeah. All right. Next one. This one is pretty creepy. This is Okiku's doll.
お菊人形
So this doll was apparently purchased by a young boy in 1918 as a souvenir for his 2-year-old sister, Okiku. So the legend has it that Okiku loved the doll so much and spent all her time with it until she died a year later due to an illness. So they say that her soul now haunts the doll, and whoever keeps the doll will suffer serious consequences. But this doll is a real doll that you can actually go see.
Yep.
And it's at a temple called Manenji Temple in which city is that?
I think this is Hokkaido, no?
Hokkaido? In Iwamizawa City since 1938. So you can visit Okiku if you go to this temple, but photography isn't allowed. Although there are pictures of this doll on the internet, and it's a creepy looking doll. So they say that the doll, the hair actually continues to grow. It's just a doll, but apparently the hair is like growing longer. So the priests of the temple trim the hair every so often, but the doll's hair is now even grown past its knees. So apparently the priests claim to have nightmares of Okiku, and they say that the doll's mouth is starting to open, and visitors can actually see like baby teeth sprouting, which is pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know if it's true. Obviously it's not. Maybe, I don't know. But
I
the
don't
hair
know.
to keep growing.
But I know this doll is really famous.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think everybody know.
Yeah.
Japanese people know, I mean.
Yeah, creepy. That's a creepy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So check your dolls if you guys have in your room. You should
Measure the hair.
measurement that. Yeah.
The next one is called the Red Room Curse. So this curse starts with a pop-up on a victim's computer screen when you're alone in a room. This pop-up will have a red background with black letters asking,
あなたは好きですか?
so do you like whatever? As the victim frantically tries to close the pop-up, more words appear, and it says,
あなたは赤い部屋が好きですか?
so do you like the red room? Then the entire screen becomes red, and a list of past victims appears.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will die and your blood will
Mm-hmm.
cover the room.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called the Red Room Curse.
Mm-hmm.
What's creepy is that on June 1st, 2004,
Mm.
an 11-year-old schoolgirl,
Mm.
They didn't release her name because she's a minor.
Yeah.
They just called her Girl A,
Mm.
murdered her 12-year-old classmate Satomi Mitarai
Mm.
in an empty classroom during the lunch hour at Okubo Elementary School in Sasebo, Nagasaki.
Mm.
Girl A returned to her classroom, her clothes covered in blood.
Mm.
The girl's teacher, who had noticed that both girls were missing, stumbled upon the body and called the police. So
Mhm.
I think she slit her throat,
Neck.
her friend's
Yeah,
throat.
Yeah.
She never really said why she did it, but she
Mhm.
was remorseful.
Mm-hmm.
But when the police like checked her bedroom
Mm-hmm.
and went through her computer, they
Mhm.
did see that this pop-up,
Mm-hmm.
this video
Mm-hmm.
bookmarked on
Mhm.
her computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of continued this
Yeah.
story about
Mm-hmm.
maybe
And this was the true story, by the way. This
Yeah.
was actually happened.
the murder.
Yeah.
The murder actually happened.
Yeah.
And there is a pop-up with this
Mm-hmm.
video or
Mm-hmm.
creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what website you have to go to get this pop-up. Right?
Well,
If an
maybe.
11-year-old girl
Mm.
is, found a pop-up,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like internet, you can find if you really want to. No.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's true.
Yeah. That's why it's dangerous too.
Yeah, right? The next one
Mm-hmm.
is called Tomino's Poem.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a popular Japanese story about a poem called Tomino's Hell.
Mm-hmm.
They say that you should only read the poem with your mind in your
Mhm.
head and never out loud.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to read it out loud, you will die.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not sure who exactly wrote this poem, but it's
Mhm.
about a girl who murdered her parents
Mm-hmm.
and descends to the lowest level of Buddhist hell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a poem, so I guess you can interpret it different ways. Some people interpret it that the poem is about war
Mm-hmm.
because it was written during World War I,
Mm-hmm.
or child abuse. Either way, it's apparently a very like dark, disturbing poem.
Mm-hmm.
In 1974,
Mm-hmm.
a director named Terama Suji
Mm-hmm.
released a movie based on Tomino's Hell
Mm-hmm.
called
田園に死す
and the director later died due to liver disease.
Mm-hmm.
So sparking rumors about this poem some more.
Mm-hmm.
People believe that this poem was actually written by a young girl named Tomino.
Mm-hmm.
And after writing this creepy poem,
Mm-hmm.
her parents found it, and they got so upset that they locked her up in the attic. And she later died from bronchitis from being in the cold, damp attic.
Mm-hmm.
So they say she was so upset that now the ghost haunts
Mm-hmm.
the words of the poem.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a story about a boy named Taro
Mm-hmm.
who had a tattered copy of this poem,
Mm-hmm.
and his classmates were egging him on to read it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to, but they were calling him chicken.
Mm.
So he decided to, okay, fine, I'll read it, right? The classmates were laughing at him, making fun of him for believing in the curse.
Mm.
So he read it
Mm-hmm.
in front of everyone, but he didn't die right away.
No.
But on his way home from school,
Mm-hmm.
a truck was speeding down the road towards him because the driver fell asleep at the wheel, and Taro died.
Mm.
He
Because
got
of the
run over.
curse.
Yes, so they say because of the curse.
Cool. Yeah. Check it out. Tomino's poem.
Yeah.
There's all the line as well.
Yeah,
If
you can read it if you want.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you wanna read, and let us know.
But maybe the curse doesn't happen to you if you read the translated
English.
version. Right?
Has to be Japanese, so that's good. Like, this is the time. Learn Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next
はい。
one is called
こっくりさん。
kokuri-san.
Mhm.
Kokuri-san, kokuri comes from
こ、きつね、
mhm.
く、天狗、り is たぬき。
So fox,
Mhm.
tengu.
Tengu.
Tengu is like a type of demon
Yeah.
with a big nose.
Yeah.
And tanuki is
It's the Japanese raccoon.
raccoon.
Yeah.
So kokuri-san is very, very similar to the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everyone knows the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that in Japan,
Mm.
you use like a
10 yen coin.
10 yen coin.
Yeah.
And again, minimum 2 people.
Yeah. Minimum 2 people.
And is it the same thing? Like in the Ouija board in English has yes, no, all the letters.
Basically, it says same thing,
numbers.
but obviously it's in Japanese.
Mhm.
So there's hi,
Yeah.
iie,
Mm-hmm.
and in the center, there's a tori gate.
A torii gate. Okay.
Yeah. And then on the bottom, there's all like hiragana.
Mhm.
So a through n.
Yeah.
So you can talk with them.
And kids play it all the time, no?
Kids pray. I never pray because I was so scared.
Really?
This, I don't want to pray because I don't want anything happen.
Growing up, we played this quite often.
Okay.
I remember one time we played it in my friend's basement,
Mhm.
and to set the mood, we lit candles,
Mhm.
like 3 candles on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a whole bunch of us playing. So I think we only had like 1 hand each,
Yeah.
and then of course it was moving.
Yeah.
The thing was moving.
Did
and
you move?
I didn't move it.
Okay.
I didn't move it.
Okay.
I kind of wanted it to be real, although
Yeah.
I don't really believe in it.
Yeah.
And so apparently, like it started moving, so a spirit was like came, right?
Mm.
So we asked, okay, if you're really here,
Mm.
give us a sign.
Mm.
And then all at once, the 3 candles
Mm.
went out right away.
Anybody, bro?
I think my friends blew it.
But the candle was like close each other.
Yeah, it was like
or
on the table.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Did you feel the
Any
bro?
wind? I didn't hear any wind. I didn't feel any wind.
Cool.
But, and then it was talking for a while, I remember. And then it left, and then we tried to get another one, but it didn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember we have family in the States, and we visited them. And they are pretty Buddhist,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like a shrine
Mm-hmm.
in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And in their board games, I saw, Ouija board. Let's play. And then my cousin said, this doesn't work. And I think it's because it doesn't work in the house because I think it's because of the shrine.
Uh-huh.
I guess like the ancestors are watching over
yeah.
the house, so it doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
And then, so she was like, you can take it home if you want.
Yeah.
But my mom was like, no, we're not taking it.
So your mom believe in?
Yeah, my mom believes in it.
Yeah.
My mom believes in like all this type of superstitious stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has she seen any?
I don't know, but
Maybe.
I remember her like growing up, her families would always tell stories to her. But yeah, my mom believes it. My dad not so much.
Yeah.
But my dad did tell me the story that it's actually this cousin's grandma or something. She was do you guys have that in Japan? Like I don't know what they're called, but like kind of like in seances where like a dead family member can enter the person's body, and then they will like you can communicate to your dead relative through the person.
Yeah.
And then my dad said, this lady actually spoke exactly the same as like how my dad did. The voice changed, the way he talked.
She got your grandpa.
Yeah.
And your dad actually noticed that.
Yeah. But he thinks that like, because the lady did know my dad.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't believe in any of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
But in Japan, you guys have that stuff too?
Yeah.
Is it popular or?
I mean, like, I never meet those people, but
yeah.
there's some, like, famous guy.
Oh, yeah?
He's doing those things.
Uh-huh.
He's actually the the head of like some religion.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he always gets some people in his body, and then he always talk as that person.
Does his voice change as well?
The funny things for him is like he doesn't change any voice, and then sometimes he even get like some like non-Japanese people.
Okay. He's that famous. That
He's super famous.
Okay.
Yeah, but then he only speaks Japanese. And the people ask why you speak in Japanese, and then he always goes, well, because you guys are Japanese. If I speak my own language, how you guys gonna understand? But to me, to be real, can you just talk?
So yeah, if you're real,
for example, he did like John Lennon.
Yeah. Oh,
Then
okay.
he started talking, hi, 私は John Lennon です. It's already like, oh my god.
So if it was real, he
Yeah.
should be speaking in English,
Exactly.
right? With a Liverpool accent.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, Ouija board, but in Japan, what do you guys call that board?
Same. Kokuri-san.
Kokuri-san.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
fox, tengu, tanuki spirit. Interesting.
Cool.
Do you know friends that play it and stuff like that? Because some people are really into it. They
Some-
use it to like guide their own life. They ask for advice and stuff. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I never pray, and then I never heard my friends there pray. Maybe they're too scared too. I won't be surprised one of them gonna do it, but I never heard. So
There's like videos and like stories debunking what it could be and stuff like that. But to me, it's not real because like you can buy this toy. Like it's in like the board game section of Walmart. You know?
But that's the thing. In Japan, we don't buy it.
You make it.
You make it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they don't sell it.
That's
Yeah,
guess
I think
that
it's
adds
too
to the
creepy.
creepiness. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Our last one is called
Mary-san.
Mary-san. So Mary-san, but Mary is actually a normal Japanese name. It's not like Mary.
Mary.
Right.
Mary. Yeah.
Mary-san.
Yeah.
So Mary-san is a story about a woman that will call your house when you're alone. So the phone will ring, and then they will say,
hello?
and then you answer, hey, who's this?
Then it's Mary-san.
And then the phone will hang up. And then a little while after, it will ring again. You answer, hello, and then she will say,
hello, it's Mary-san. I'm at close to your house station.
and then the phone will hang up again. And then it'll ring again. And then Mary-san will say,
hello, I'm Mary-san. I'm at convenience store close to your house.
and then she'll hang up again. And then she'll call back and say,
hello, I'm Mary-san. I'm in front of your house.
and then she'll hang up. What's creepy is that she will like know your name too, right? So I'm in front of your house, Ryu-chan, whatever. So the victim will search all over the house, open the front door, no one's there, come back inside, and then the phone will ring again.
Hello, I'm Mary-san. I'm behind you.
And then you turn around, and then you get murdered. So, of course, this is a really popular story. And there's actually a movie that was released in 2011 called Mary-san's Phone Call. So, really popular urban legend in Japan. They don't know how the story started, but there actually was a person called Yokohama Mary. So after the Second World War, there wasn't much food or jobs, money around in Japan. People found it really difficult to feed themselves. So a lot of women turned to prostitution. One of them was Yokohama Mary. She was an elderly lady who painted her face entirely white and wore frilly dresses, just like a doll. Mary was often seen standing on a particular street corner in Yokohama, like she was a part of the local scenery. She actually drew widespread attention in the 80s when the media did several reports of the strange people you could find living in Tokyo. She disappeared in the 90s, although it later came to light that she had moved into a senior citizen's home and then passed away in 2005. You can find pictures on the internet of
About
real
her.
life Mary-san, and she does look really creepy because of the
makeup.
Almost like, I guess,
Joker,
but like geisha type white face.
But somehow it looks more Joker, I guess, because she's all and there's so much wrinkle on her face, and
That's
it's
true.
stupid,
That's true.
all white.
So they think this urban legend is based on Yokohama Mary. So I hope you guys enjoyed these urban legends. It was fun to find them.
Yeah, and obviously, like, if you guys wanna check more, and then like on the internet, you can find all this story.
Yeah, there's so many Japanese horror type stories. If you guys like this episode, or you want to hear more Japanese horror stories, urban legends, let us know, and we can make more episodes. It doesn't just have to be a Halloween, October type thing. So this brings us to our Japanglish segment.
Hi.
We have two words that are kind of based around, being scared and stuff like that. Again, for our new listeners, Japanglish are words that are very commonly used in Japan that are borrowed from the English language. But of course, they changed it to match the Japanese pronunciation, and it's become, and sometimes the meanings change as well. So the first word we have is
Guroi.
guroi, short for grotesque.
Yeah.
Can you say it slang way? Guroi?
This
Guro-
is the
Guro-
Yeah,
Guro-
you can say it. Yeah.
So guroi is used for things that are unsettling, disturbing, gross. So for example, you see roadkill and the guts are everywhere.
Uwa, guroi.
Uwa, guroi. We did uwa in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
What's uwa again?
Uwa is like when you see something, I don't know how to explain, like you don't want to see. Yeah. You're shocked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just uwa.
Uwa.
Next word we have is
Panikuru.
panikuru. So maybe you guys can guess what this is Japanglish for. It's for panic. Panikuru. To panic or to freak out. So for example, I had a job interview scheduled for this morning, a big one, really important job that I want. When I woke up, I thought I overslept. You know those feelings?
今日の朝、寝坊したと思ってパニクったわ。
Paniku.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that feeling when you wake. Like it's always when something's really important, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so panikuru and guroi. That does it for today's episode. The last one of our Halloween themed episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed these series of podcasts. Please rate, review, subscribe, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We would really appreciate it.
はい。
That's it.
はい。
ありがとう。
ありがとう。
バイバイ。
またね。バイバイ。